Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Pine Pass in Cities Skylines, our lovely, lovely winter map. With a big winter storm about to take over the entire U.S. this week. We're over here in this little, I guess we could call it subdivision. I realized something several videos ago when I was editing, and just never got around to fixing it. We have a soccer field, a soccer pitch, a football pitch. Whatever part of the world you're in, we have soccer. However, it appears that it is impossible to shovel the snow on this, as it is basically one dog high, or one dog deep, because you can see that dog would be buried in the snow. Yeah, this place is never going to not be winter. It is so high up in the mountains that there's snow year-round. So this isn't the best idea. Indoor soccer field would be fantastic, but I don't think I have one of those. We can check. Soccer. The futsal club. Yeah, that doesn't work. Football. Yeah, we just have the big stadiums. What if we go foot? Yeah, no, it's not there either. Okay, so yeah, we don't have an indoor one. So yeah, this has got to go. This was a bad idea. But we do have a high school right here, and we want to have. Really, you're upgrading because I destroyed a park? That's okay. We've got a high school here, so we want to have something. But we have something. We have things we could do. We could, let's see, what did we do over at the other one? We gave them a curling park. Let's give these guys something. That's going to be way too big. Oh, why is Anarchy on? That's going to be way too big. Ski Lodge, no. Snowman Park, that's good for the elementary schools. In fact, we may see if we can squeeze one in. We can. Good, yay. Sledding hill, I don't know, very artificial, plus not really all that. So I think instead, I wish, is there a hockey rink? I don't think there's but the big one. Oh, there's this one, ice hockey rink. What is this under? Is this under unique buildings? Ice hockey arena. Sleigh ride, spa hotel. Santa Claus workshop. No, it's not a unique buildings. Am I just overlooking it here? Hockey, skiing, skating, curling, ice sculpture. Where the heck is this thing? Like, is it just a regular park? I don't understand where that exists. If you know, please tell me. Because I clearly do not. Is it like a special one in here? No. Special one in here? No. That's the one thing that when you place these things, they don't show you where they're coming from. Like, let's get rid of find it. And then, it's just going to keep bringing that same thing up, isn't it? Yeah. So it doesn't show me the category that it was in, does it? Well, that does. So why doesn't that? Ah, there we go. Oh, I didn't even realize that there's extra stuff in leisure for these. I had no idea. But I think hockey is fine. We can have a high school hockey team, and that works really, really well. So we're just going to add in just a couple of trees just to give that a bit of seclusion. You know, the team can practice with some privacy, but also to keep noise down so they don't have to hear the sounds of helmets smashing against ice. I don't know a lot about hockey. I have a good friend who does, though. I like watching hockey, but I don't know the first thing about it. I just know I like watching it, which is odd because I normally don't like violent things. And then I want to add just a little bit more zoning over here. We're going to just come in with the forestry fence once I find it. And we're just going to go right here just to give a little bit of seclusion off of there. And then we're not going to zone the whole thing. We're just going to come in right at the edge there, leave a little bit there, leave a little bit there. And we could even do a few houses right here off of that. And I think that is good. And so that takes care of the most pressing issue in the city. That's not the most pressing issue. Why can't I say issue today? Boy. The most pressing issue, I think, would be the fact that our college is in a rough spot. We don't really have the budget to continue too high up this ladder, though. I would go to 20. Yeah, I'm only at about 10,000 surplus. So instead, I'm going to keep giving them research grants, and I do IT and engineering because I have an IT background and I'm biased. So that's why we're going to do that. We will eventually have some residential and commercial mixed in with the campus, but I want to finish the campus before we do that. So we're going to turn our attention to a couple of different areas while we wait for the city to kind of grow. We do have climbing frames, and we could continue adding in some entertainment value. I mean, that did wonders for this area over here. Yeah, see, look at that. Upgrades underway. And I think we might be able to get to our next milestone, because I really do want to redevelop this little corner back here into some high density, maybe just like here over. We'll have a high-rise band. That's why we haven't done it yet, because the high-rise band is currently locked behind the 9,000 goal. But if we can get some of our existing areas expanded and upgraded, I think we'll be okay. I thought I added the second cemetery. I did. They're just struggling to keep up, aren't they? Yeah, so we're just going to have to deal with that death wave for now, because I'm not adding in a third cemetery. I'm not going to do it. I'm stubborn. And there's only 93 dead people anyway, so that's like five hearses full, right? I don't know. I don't remember how much they hold. But we did get an upgrade on our nature reserve, and I want to expand out across the river. So I want to build a bridge. I am a bridge builder today. So we're going to come into here. We're going to give just a teeny tiny brush here. And we're going to grab this level. We're going to undo that because I didn't press the right button first. We're going to grab that. Why did that? Right click. There we go. And then kind of find that same spot over here, like somewhere that we'll be able to get a path in nicely. Just level out a little bit. I don't want to do too much here because I don't want to mess up the shoreline too badly. So then we'll come into our nature reserve. We will grab the path and just go straight across. Just bam. That is a very high bridge, and it bothers me that that pillar is not in the middle of the water. I don't know if it bothers you, but it bothers me. So we're gonna redo this here. We're gonna also pause because I don't like what it's doing here. That's gonna bring it up too high. So let's just bring it down, and then we will adjust it. So put the pillar there, and then come on across. Yeah, it dips down, and that is not what I'm going for. What I'm going for is to have this whole thing be a bridge, and then bring these nodes. So this all should be at that elevation, and then we just have a nice flat bridge across. We do have a pillar there, but I can live with it. It'll be fine. And what we've got unlocked, let's turn anarchy back off before we make decisions that we'll later regret. We've unlocked a couple things that we don't have. We've got some tent camping sites, and we have some viewing decks. Now, over here, there's going to be high density, but it's going to have a high-rise band. And a lot of tourism, maybe a pedestrian area, just some nice stuff, and there's going to be a big transit hub. Up here, there's going to be high density, no High-rise van. Down here, to be determined. I know what I want to do, but I don't know. We'll see. And then, of course, back here, I want to get some development going as well. So about the only place that we're going to have unspoiled views, I don't plan on doing too much down here around this railroad bend. I think we'll just leave that railroad right away, though there is some really good land here. Ooh, there's really good land here. Yeah, I don't know. I may wind up changing my mind on that. But we don't have a whole lot of places that will wind up with preserved views. We could go out that way. That's not that bad to look at, but we've got a lot of rocks that we would destroy if we go that way. Well, we could try it. We can definitely give it a whirl. So I'm going to turn all this off, and I'm going to bring up our terrain height, and I kind of want to try to follow this, but I think we're going to hit this rock. Oh, we're going to get away with it. Look at that, right past it. That's beautiful. Okay, I like that. And then we're going to come up to this elevation. The self-leveling path should take care of us. And we're just going to kind of try to wrap our way up this way here. And that's... Why are you making straight segments when I'm in freeform? Stop it. Give me that back. We are doing some things with the train that we're going to need to deal with. And I want to get up to about here. But first, I want to level off a little bit here. I want to give us some room for some campsites. So I'm not going to go with this highest bit here because that would raise it all up. Instead, that's a bit high. Let's bring that down to about 40. That's better. Instead, I'm going to go with about this level because that's kind of splitting the difference of what we have over here. We are going to lose a couple of our little peaks there, but I'm okay with it, and I hope you are too. And if you're not, well, I apologize. I will try to do better next time. And then we're just going to bring that right around here. That should be enough to get us a couple campsites. And we didn't do too much ugliness. I mean, it kind of looks like what we already have here, so we should be okay. So back into this, back out of here, and into our camping sites. I just want like 2. They're big. I always forget. Oh, that's right. You're not inside of a park area. We'll fix that. I forgot that we hadn't extended that over to the island yet. Now you are. This is gonna be a big nature reserve. A lot of this island is gonna be nature reserve, and I really don't like what's happened here. That's rough. It goes down and it goes up. I don't know why we're paused. Were we paused? I don't know. I just felt my finger hit a key, and I think it was the 1 key to unpause. So we're gonna do one over here, and then just another one right to the other side. Not gonna be a ton of privacy in these, unfortunately. It's just kind of the nature of the beast, I think, because we don't have a whole lot of space here to work with. And then getting this up here, oof, that is quite the climb. This is not the place you want to take your grandma camping. If you want to take your grandma camping. I don't know, maybe grandma likes camping. So maybe we can climb here, like come around this way, do our corner right here, and then around. I know you normally don't turn on a corner, but this isn't a road, it's a path. So I think it'll be fine. And bring this up and around this way, and then hopefully this is fine here. And then I want to come back this way. And then we'll give these guys just like a little stub here, maybe. There you go. And one for you too. A little stub. Where are you? Oh, hi. Hello. We will go right there for that one. Cool. So that one, not as much privacy, but we can add some trees and things to help that out. Now I want to bring the path down this side. And this is where I think it's going to get really tricky to bring this down. Yeah, I think it's just going to be really steep in a lot of places. trying to like look at my contours to see what we can do, and maybe we'll just like, and that looks rough. And I'm not good enough at the terrain tool that I know that I can fix it. It's not too steep. I think we're okay. Like even over here, right there's a little bit steep, and maybe over here's a little bit, but I mean, it's a nature reserve. There is some hiking to be expected. That might be a bit much there, but I'm gonna live with it. I'm gonna say that it's fine. And then what we've done here is create a perfect opportunity for a viewing deck, because we've got this little elevated bit and we're gonna use it. If the path was gonna destroy things, well then so be it, and we're gonna throw that in right there, and then you can come over here and get a fairly decent view of trees in the water. I think it's good. I like it. I'm gonna try to clean this up a little bit, but I don't know how successful I'm gonna be. Okay, that's the wrong tool, so immediately I failed. If you just face palmed, I don't blame you. Yeah, see, I'm not the best with fixing this type of stuff. That's a little bit better. Not a whole lot I think I can really do with this one without really starting to tear into the coast or the shore. Over here, though, I would like to make this better, and I think we have the space to do so. I think if I pull this back a lot, we'll be in good shape. In fact, I think if I pull out a bit, kind of at each level here, this might make this a little easier. I could do the slope terrain tool. We're dealing with so many different elevations. That would take a minute. We'll see how this does. And if this doesn't give me the effect that I want, then we will try again with the slope terrain tool. But I think what I can do now is come in here with this, and this will kind of have these two, not right there in the corner, but for the most part, get these two different levels, elevations to kind of meet in the middle. Not so much here, but I'm kind of okay with that because we already had a little bit of a cliff there. So that's better. It's not perfect, but I'm going to live with it. I will put in a fence, however, just to make sure that people aren't going to walk off the edge. And to do that, I am going to use the parallel road tool. Actually nearly pronounced it this time. So we're going to bump that over to the other side, and then we're just going to bump that out to that edge. And I think that's fine. And then over here, I will manually do it. I just didn't want it to conflict with our observation deck, which is why I didn't bring it out to here. But I think I can get pretty close. Yeah. And then we want to come back into the parallel road tool. One of these days, I will be able to say that word. And then we're just going to bring that over like that. And I think that's fine. We can then bring it on down. Again, didn't want to conflict with our other path here, and it's easy enough to do that. This side, I don't think really needs one. Wow, we've got people walking up here. I'm really happy about that. But we might want to do one here, and this is a short enough segment that I think we'll just freehand that. And yeah, we probably ought to have one here as well. This is a little scary. Let's try not to take out that rock. There we go. So cool. We actually have people coming up here to camp. So that's awesome. So that should help us get Highland Meadows, which, by the way, if you have a better name for it, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm all for renaming things. Don't have to stick to the basics that Cities Skylines gives us. So we are going to do one heck of an eminent domain project. The city knows that it needs a stronger tax base. They have invested heavily in the trade school to get some people who are highly educated. And 44% isn't too bad. We don't have a whole lot of office or industry demand right now, but I think that's going to change because we are going to do what anybody who clings to realism in this game would cringe at, and we are going to dezone a massive section of town. This would happen instead of immediately like this would happen over years. As different people wanted to rebuild, the city would have had new zoning. I know that out where I take my mom to work every day, it's a state highway, a 4-lane state highway with a center turn lane down the middle, so 5 lanes total. And it's busy, it's 55 miles an hour, but there's homes on it, and some of them really close to the road, some of them set back. And that was well before, it used to be just a winding little 2-lane state highway. It was well before they made it the 4-lane. It was well before the area was really starting to grow in. So those homes have been there for a long time. But now, any new development through there is commercial only. And a lot of it, they're even slowly starting to limit on how much of it can actually sit out on the road versus having to have frontage roads, which is good because it has way too much access. Way too much access. So we've lost 1,500 people. I'm going to let this run for just a minute. I'm not going to bulldoze anybody's house. I'm not going to be that guy. But we're going to let these guys move out as they realize that they're no longer in appropriate zoning, and we'll be right back. And there we go. That went really quick. So we just have our firehouse, our medical clinic, and a school and a high school remaining in this area. And that's all that we want. So we're going to come in and make sure, I don't want to get any high density commercial right next to existing residential, because as we know, if you've played Cities Skylines, high density commercial makes a lot of noise. And we don't want to do that to our residents. We don't want to expose them to noise pollution if we don't have to. We are going to do a couple pockets of lower density commercial as well. In fact, I think it would pay to beef up some of these corner areas because we're about to have much higher density in the area. I think it'd be kind of nice to maybe dedicate this to just a school campus. In fact, we are going to do just that. We're going to get rid of all this landscaping, all these little bushes that make the city so flammable. In fact, we're just going to clear it all out. And the school's going to stay as is. We're going to bump the Snowman Park over just a little bit. And we're going to come back in here and we're going to add in a sledding hill. Oh, that doesn't want to fit where I want it. Okay, maybe we go with a sledding hill way back there. And then we bump this guy back over. And then let's look. What else do we have under the tourism that I didn't realize existed? A snowmobile track, but it's humongous. There's a fishing pier, and I love that the fishing pier looks winterized in the thumbnail. We don't want another ice hockey rink. What else could maybe work? I think that might be... Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And then we can just bring in the path kind of down this way and make a connection down here. All my snap twos are still turned off. Good. So I need to wiggle this thing right through here. And then this gives us just a nice little campus for the school. Maybe make a connection out this way and maybe bring this back here. And then the kids can go play in, it's a playground. It's just called Snowman Park. And then on good days, they can come over here in a very commercial setting and go sledding. I like it. And I like that the sled, like the back side of it, the ugly side of it is just, there's nothing over there. Nobody's going to see that. It's nice and hidden. So unless you drive by back there, it's fine. So strangely, even though I did not, I made a mistake. Even though I did not buy zone any office, because we lost so many residents, we don't have any demand for that. That's gonna be remedied here pretty doggone quick. I want to take a look at our noise levels. And it is fairly noisy right here, so we are going to, even though we don't have demand for it, go with office right here. I don't think we're going to need any more than that. I just want to use it as a buffer more than anything. And I think that would maybe one little bit more there. We're not going to see that develop anytime soon, simply because there's no demand. It's just not there. And the rest of this is going to be residential now that we have the high-res band turned on. And we kind of messed that up earlier, didn't we? I'm going to pause for just a moment because I do want to look at something. If I remember right, elementary is, we've only got 200 extra capacity there. And on the high school, we've only got, 104. So it may be beneficial to actually go ahead and issue a bond and build a new elementary over here. I really hate going with these high capacity ones because they're just so big, but I mean, that's 500 more students, but I think that will be helpful. I think it'll be very beneficial. And then I'd like to do the same with the high school. Go ahead and get in the larger capacity high school. But my goodness, 1,000 and 2,400. That is such a big difference. We are going to lose a building there. And now I know, excuse me, I have the hiccups. I know that this has play spaces inside, but apparently the snow has blown in and just made that completely unusable. So we need to continue to have this little campus here. So that should give us now the capacity that we need. Yes. And yes. And then by expanding the town, we should see our eligible students increasing. I mean, we've already started to grow again. So I just want to ensure I did turn high-res band on, yeah? Yes. Yes, cool. Now, this is a video game. And so I think we need to have this is a video game talk. I know that in the real world, you would not want maximum land value everywhere because you're going to price out lower income families and they're not going to have anywhere to live. I get that. And I support that idea completely. I think the government needs to be spending a lot of money right now on encouraging low income and even middle class developments. We don't have enough. We have way too many custom homes being built in secluded gated communities with all kinds of amenities and not enough just nice, simple, safe neighborhoods with a couple of nice parks and access to public transit that people can actually afford. And it's a problem, and it's one I feel passionately about. But this is a video game, so we don't have to worry about those concerns. Therefore, I am going to use a mechanic that the video game has rewarded me with by getting the city up to 9,000 without it burning down or tornado wiping it out or me just being incompetent and going bankrupt. We are going to turn on all 4 of these. I'm going to slow down time because these cause big things to happen. We double our income from commercial buildings. Granted, it does cost us 2 cents, but the money we make off of it is more than worth it. We are going to double our sales from the large, high density commercial. Again, 4 cents per building, worth it. Same with industrial space planning. We're going to go ahead and make that investment 6 cents, but we get, they overlook a few safety laws. I've just noticed that. They double the amount of goods they output, which will be necessary because if we're doubling our sales, we're going to need more goods. And of course, high-tech housing raises land value. And it says slightly, but we're going to look at this. We're going to press this button right here, and we're going to watch the property value. Yeah, I guess it is slight, but the knock-on effect is it raises it enough that we start getting upgrades that expands out more. And then we're going to go ahead and hit those. So we're making about 17 grand before we press that button. I am going to just go into this view right here, and we're going to watch some upgrades take place. And that short little segment only took about 2 minutes, and we've had some really cool things happen. One, the city budget has grown by about $5,000 per week, or is what we're bringing in. Of course, as I say that, it drops $3,000, but that's fine. It'll bounce back and forth, and part of that is because of our industry over here, which we are going to be coming back and revisiting this. Don't you worry. We are not done. We are not done with Sterling Davies. He has great plans. He's been in business now for close to a decade, and things are going well for him. You know, he's sometimes turns a profit. It looks like he's still importing a bit more than he'd like, but he has been working on securing funding and bringing in some partners that will help him expand. He's been working with city leaders on bringing in more industry and getting that new industry to foot the bill of some infrastructure projects for the town. So there's some exciting things ahead for Pine Pass. Some really cool stuff. And as we spin back around, we actually have like a downtown forming. I like the buildings that we have. I dig it. I think, you know, they're just the right height. They're none of them are too tall. We have a nice transition since we have that commercial in between. I think it's fine. Gets a little bit taller back here, but that's fine because it's screening from the industry. So now when you look down the main street, you're not seeing all the industry as much. You're just seeing interesting architecture. By the way, is anybody visiting the Christmas tree yet? No. Why does no one want to come to the Christmas tree? Maybe it doesn't function properly on these roads. Like, I mean, it's got a spawn point there for all of the services, so I would think that it's fine. But I don't know. It makes me kind of sad that we're seeing no visitors. Oh wait, we had a visitor. Who is it? Who is it? Where are you? Where is our visitor? They've already left, haven't they? Is it you? Were you at the Christmas tree park? No. They've already left. They're like, yep, saw the Christmas tree. I'm leaving. Nobody's here to hang out with. I feel bad for all these vendors. Just sitting here and they're like, man, nobody's coming in. But, well, I just tried to rename Mary Parker 3. Maybe she is 3. At least it had a visitor. But our population has grown significantly. We started off under 9,000. We're at 10,300. I'm really pleased with how things are going, even though we do have a fire, and it's... I got rid of all those bushes, and yet... Sorry, we have plenty of fire trucks. We'll be fine. We even have the helicopters somewhere. There they are. The last thing I want to check, though, is since we have expanded our population quite a bit, yeah, we're going to have to think about power, and sooner rather than later, because we are right there on the edge. We're going to have to think about sewage treatment, and we are probably... No, we're fine on heating. Okay, I thought we were going to have to do something about heating as well, but then again, it is 14 degrees. Once that dips down into negative numbers, we may be in hot water. So let's check and see. Now we've got 1,000 people now eligible for the university. Is it enough? It just might be. So I'm gonna pause. We're gonna go ahead and come in here, and we're gonna give them a fountain that will be just nice and frozen. Where do we want to build that? I guess we could go with like that right here. I was going to do the outdoor study area, and then it dawned on me as I was thinking that the soccer pitch needs to go. That probably is not the best addition to a winter map to encourage students to, sit outside. Actually, let's redo. I want to bring that in there, and then I want to bring a path in just behind it. I'm going to click the right button here in a minute. And we're going to come right through the middle, just like that. Just realized all my snap twos are still off. And then we're going to pop back out of there, and we're going to come in and get a cafeteria and throw it right here in the middle of this quad so it is convenient for all the students. And then we're going to check our attractiveness, and we are still 55 away. I really wish these things told me what they added. We could bring that in. You would want that situated close to the dorm. So we're going to bring that right off the quad here, and 25 away. So I'm going to do what I always do and just kind of cheat a little bit. Just build an extra fountain. It's fine. It's okay. We can cheat. I said it a million times. I think I even said it in the last video that I really dislike the whole attractiveness thing on campuses. I think it's a silly concept. So let's sit here for a minute and get this up to level 3. And then we will wrap up today. But first, let's... you're not happy about that. Okay, that's a weird connection, but it's on the campus, and we're going to allow it. So we're going to let this academic year tick by, and then we'll wrap things up today. And we're coming up to the end of the academic year, and I'm getting nervous because the numbers are dropping, but we should be fine as it ticks over. There we go. It's going to be a while before we have 1,200 students over here and before we have the academic works. I am going to go ahead and dole out yet another IT grant, even though we really, since this is going to be a tourism town, we should be doing the tourism stuff, but I'm a nerd, so we're going to do those. So what building did that get us? That got us the School of Tourism and Travel, which is perfect. That fits nicely within what we're doing in this map, since we're going to be focusing on tourism. And I think that building fits nicely right there. It gives us a bit more capacity, so we now have room for 4,250 students, which means we're way overbuilt, but we're going to live with it for now. We're almost making enough money. Matter of fact, I bet if... we're $3,000 away. We could cut that back, since it's going to be a while before we need those 8 academic works, and we're going to be giving them grants anyway. Maybe we can actually get the school to break even? Maybe? Hey, there we go. We're making $300 and some odd, but we're also down below our number of students, which means our tuition fees will go down. Not only because we have less students, but you get to charge higher tuition each academic year. If you take a look, it tells you right there, tuition fees. So we were at 7, now we're at 10, and at 5 at the lowest level. So it's a bit of an issue. The final thing I want to take a peek at is, we are definitely going to have to deal with sewage and power next time around, but we're not going to do it right now. I want to look and see. So we are getting a few more level 4 and 5 homes. They're all level 4 over here, but that's probably property value. Yeah, it's property value. And we have raised property values across the town. We still have a few people doing upgrades occasionally, which is a nice thing to see. And I can't leave this in this state. It hurts me. We're gonna stick with our geothermal. It just hurts me. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I know I said I'm not gonna bother with it this video, but I have to. It's such an easy fix. We can just boom. I mean, we have the campuses already set out, the space already allotted. Why make the city suffer during an outro if we don't have to? I mean, it's bad enough we don't have enough death care. That does bother me, but we are well on our way to our next milestone of 14,000, where we will unlock better death care. So it'll be all right. We will be fine. But we did get to small city, and I think it looks pretty freaking fantastic. Are you kidding me? We don't have enough heating now at negative 14. Really? Well, we still have something we have to do in the next video then. That's fine. We also have really good demand across the board. Unemployment sitting nice at 4%. I know I went through that really quick. I'm sorry. We even have more births than deaths every week, so we're doing really well. So I think we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. It has been my pleasure to bring these videos to you. I'm really enjoying this winter map build. I didn't know if I would or not, and I'm really liking it. It's a whole different thing, and we've got some big plans for our small city. But until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.